Good morning, everybody. Welcome, thrill seekers, recruiters, sales professionals, and anybody looking to improve their lot in life. This is Deep Recruiting. We're excited you're here. If you've got questions, comments, we'd love to hear them. You can email us at deeprecruiting@teamgtn.com. Same comments are in the description so that you can reach out and give us questions. Let us know what you're thinking and what issues you're running into so that we can help you figure out the right solution. Today, it's going to be another kind of a brief one, kind of some of the basics again. I want to talk about communication styles because understanding the communication style of the person you're talking to is so critical to making that connection. You have to recognize the way they talk, the way they communicate, and you need to adapt to it. As the sales professional, it is your responsibility to adapt to their needs, to communicate with them in the way they want to be communicated with. Now, the first style I want to go over is my style, the driver. And I'm willing to bet most of you watching this right now are drivers yourselves. Drivers tend to be people that are aggressively ambitious. They tend to jump out of the plane and then check to make sure they're actually wearing a parachute. We're risk takers. We gamble. We take chances. We don't worry or dwell on the consequences of that risk. We're focused on the outcome of what we're trying to get. We have no time for small talk. We want to get down to business. We make quick decisions and then we look to justify our decisions with logic after we've already made them. We make decisions with our gut and we're easily overwhelmed by data and details. That to us is just noise. It's just clutter. Just get to the point. If you've ever heard the phrase, be brief, be good, be gone, that's how you sell to a driver. That's how you would sell to somebody like me. Get to the point. Get to your impact statement fast. I want to give you a quick example of it. I get presentations. I get people reaching out to me all the time to give me a presentation on their product. And I tell them up front, when you're giving me this presentation, I don't want to see pictures of your building. I don't want to hear how your founder was in recruiting and had a brilliant idea and started this business and how he or she is just so amazing and wonderful. I don't care. I really don't care. What I want you to know is what I'm using currently and how your product or service is going to do better. Is that going to improve on that situation? And I tell the sales professional this up front. And you know what over 90% of them do? The presentation starts, and the first thing they do is, back in 1988, our founder, blah, blah, blah. And here's a picture of our building. Exactly what I told them to not do. They're not listening. They're not paying attention. I think, honestly, drivers are the easiest people in the world to sell to because we're going to tell you exactly how to make that sale. We're going to tell you whether we're a qualified buyer or not. And that's all you really need to know. Are we qualified? Yes or no? Do I proceed? Yes or no? And number two, how do I convince this person that my product or service is actually superior to what they're having or what they have right now? Drivers are the easiest people in the world to sell to because we lay it all bare. Yet, most salespeople don't know how to sell to us because they become flustered with how direct and bold we tend to be. Personally, I don't understand that, but that's because I'm a driver. And so I'm looking for somebody who's also a driver to sell to me. So most decision makers in your sales career are actually going to be drivers. So you need to adapt your style to their style if you want to be successful. You need to know when you have to make a logical and analytical argument and provide details. And I can tell you most of the time that is after they make that emotional decision. You need to accept that if you want to be successful. The second type of buyer is your influencer. This is your social butterfly. They're flitting all around all the time from here to there to there. They never met a stranger. They love to chat. They're very outgoing. They're gregarious. They're loud. They've always got a big smile on their face. Just like drivers, they're very quick to make a decision. They tend to make a decision based on what's in their gut. What are they feeling? It's a very, very emotional decision for them. How do you sell to them? You need to build rapport. You need to connect with them on a personal and human level. They're never going to work with you unless you build that rapport. It's absolutely vital. Part of building that rapport is going to be body language. It's going to be emotional mirroring that we talked about in one of the Bright Bombs that I recently dropped. Learning to be charismatic, which is something we talked about in a previous podcast on deep recruiting. This is how you connect with the influencer. And they're going to be concerned about your network. Who are you connected to? Who else has bought from you? If I make a positive decision and buy this person's product or service, am I going to be in good company? They're looking for that social proof. Absolutely critical to selling to the influencer. If you are the influencer, you need to recognize that quite often you might be wearing other people out. You're overwhelming them with talk, with what they might consider nonsensical blather. You need to be aware of that. A lot of the analytical types are going to get very, very frustrated with you because it's all fluff to them. They want facts and figures. You're giving them fluff. So as an influencer, you need to recognize, again, the people you're selling to and how do you need to adjust your style. Maybe you need to throttle back on all of that networking and rapport building because it may not work with a different type of buyer. The third type of buyer I want to talk to is what we call the steady regulator. They're motivating by serving and helping others. These are people that participate a lot in charities. They're always concerned about you and what's going on in your life, and they want to help. They're always reaching out to help. They don't like confrontation. They don't like challenge or being challenged. So they can have a difficult time with drivers. As a driver, if you're dealing with a steady relator, you've got to tone it way, way, way back. These people can be very quiet. They don't want to create waves. They don't want to shock the system, okay? They don't make decisions quickly if they're capable of making a decision at all. Quite often, they're going to rely on other people in their sphere of influence to actually tell them what to do, okay? So the way you sell to them is you slow down. If you're a driver or if you're an influencer, slow down and really focus on building that relationship with them. If you're the steady relator and you're in sales, you probably need to speed up your sales meetings. Anticipate curveballs, recognize that you're going to run into them and you're going to have to deal with them. But if you're selling to a driver, you're really going to have to snap it up or you're going to get left behind. And the last personality I want to talk about is the cautious thinker. This is somebody who requires analytics to make a decision. Think about an accountant or an engineer. They need facts and figures. They're going to want to see a research paper on your argument. How do you validate your point of view? They literally will challenge you with a request for show me a scientific paper on that. That, of course, is a little bit more on the extreme, but they have to have these analytics to make a decision. If they're going to buy a car, they're going to pore over details before they make a decision. And they're probably going to buy a Honda or Toyota because those are going to be the most reliable cars. That's going to be what's typically most important to them. So there's never too much data with them. And when you're selling to that cautious thinker, reliability is probably going to be a key factor. And you're going to want to bury them in facts and figures, stacks of paper, miles high. They don't want to hear your salesy pitch. They want data. Data is all that matters to them. And they may even want to know the source of that data. So if you're a cautious thinker, know that you are likely going to overwhelm other people that don't want to hear all that data. They just want you to bottom line it. Don't overwhelm them with spreadsheets. Keep the data simple, and you're going to have to learn how to focus on that emotional sale. It's going to be tough for you. It's going to require a lot of work. I want you to remember this, though. People will remember you for how you make them feel, not for what you said. And for the analytical thinker, that can be very, very difficult. So here's a simple exercise you can do. You can do this with your friends. You can do this with your coworkers. I want you to go and make a list of everybody you work with, make a list of all your friends, and try to figure out what their communication style is. Now, most people don't fall into just one or even two. Everybody's got something of everything in their overall style. I'm a driver, but I like it when I'm dealing with an influencer, and I do like to get analytical in my thinking. When I'm researching a rather expensive personal purchase, it's not unlike me to go on YouTube and spend several hours researching what other people are saying about it, because I want to know exactly what I'm getting myself into. So that analytical part of my brain is looking for reasons to justify that emotional decision, but I need that analytical part to make me feel comfortable with the emotional decision. A little bit of a profundity there. So this has been Deep Recruiting, another foray into how you can make your success in the world of recruiting. Please email us at deeprecruiting@teamgtn. Let us know what problems you're running into. Give us specific challenges you're facing, and let's see if we can't manage that. A good topic for next week: how to manage our sales process when the stock market is being roiled just like it has the last few days. That'll be an interesting one. Be sure to tune in next Monday. We'll give you a few tips and a few secrets. Thanks for tuning in. Give us a like, give us a comment, give us a share. That's how we're going to grow our network, and we're going to be able to support this venture. Thanks a lot. Happy Monday and great selling, everybody.